Hello, everybody. Sean Higgs coming at you. It is Tuesday, January the 28th. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting podcast. Matt Fargo and Scott Prichard filling in today, doing a little college basketball on a Tuesday in January. Man, almost done with the month here. But listen, folks, NFL might be winding down. There's a game left. NBA and college hoops will be center stage. Any hockey, we're going to have free pick videos for you here on the Winner Circle YouTube channel. So hit the like, subscribe, notification bell on so you know each and every day we post these puppies up. You don't want to miss out on a free pick winner. Why would you? Why would you want to miss out? You don't want to. Now, these are the free picks. Yesterday, we had a 1 and 2 day with our NBA. We are 21 and 22 with our NBA picks. College basketball, a little better, 14 and 9. We're going to look to go 2-1 or better. That's what we've basically been doing here with our college basketball. Again, free picks here. You want our premium stuff, head on over to gamblersworld.net for all the premium action. Scott Prichard, Matt Fargo, myself, we got you covered over there with all of our top plays. You don't miss out on them. We have $69.99 day passes, which are great when there's multiple sports and multiple packages up for any capper. 3 7:38 packages, guaranteed to show profit over that time, or we credit you back for that same time back. And, of course, the leaderboard's there. You see how everybody does. No hiding from the records. We're on here every day. We tell you win, lose, or draw, however you want to word it. Scott will have a funnier way to say it when I get to him. But you get it from us. Speaking of Scott Prichard, welcome back, my friend. I haven't seen you in a bit. Good to see you. How are things going?
Life is good, my friend. If I was any better, I'd be Sean Higgs.
Like I said, the guy, he brings it every single time with the good personality. I love doing a show with Scott. Scott, you're gonna come. We're gonna do like some college basketball shows. Are you being for a Friday football, Friday live NBA college hoop show on Fridays for the next month with tournaments?
I've been betting sports professionally, Sean, as you know, for 3+ decades. They play the Star Spangled Banner every single day. I generally have action every single day. This is what I do 24/7. So I'm ready anytime. Just let me know, my friend. I'm in. Sign me up.
There. All right. I love it. Yeah, never, we kind of stopped the live after the tournaments for the NCAA, but I don't know. I want to do baseball. I like baseball. I don't know if you're a heavy baseball better. I like a big RBI. I'm an RBI prop guy. I like grabbing the middle of the lineup, those 5, 6, 7 guys, all the plus 160 or more. I can't wait for baseball. I think we're 58 days away from the start of baseball there. Matt Fargo.
I love baseball. I generally go with the first 5 innings of a baseball game. As good as you are, as good as I am, I do not know who's going to be pitching the 6th, 7th, God forbid the 11th inning. But the first 5 innings, I love baseball. It's every single day.
We're old enough, the three of us, we go back where there was no first 5. You call into a number, there was no first 5. Guys, what the hell are you talking about? And let's be honest, a lot of times you had a local guy you call in, at least me in Jersey. They weren't down like a Tuesday taking baseball bets. No, they weren't betting baseball. Maybe in September because you had NBA and football going on, and got to be there to answer the phone. This is all, first 5. You could do Nerfies and all this new stuff. Man, these young kids spoiled rotten with the way technology for the betting. Although I think it's really creating a degenerate generation. These kids are just boy, they'll be homeless. A lot of homeless settlements can be popping up around the books the way these kids go. But Matt, baseball, he's got his Blue Jay jersey on. He loves it. He's excited. Blue Jays, high hopes. We've got high hopes. No high hopes for the Blue Jays?
No, not really. No, I got nothing for you. It's one of those things. Yeah, they're supposed to be good again. Blah blah blah. Play the toughest division in baseball. It's going to be a challenge again. I don't know. But Scott brought up a good point about baseball betting this time like the last decade or so. The starting pitchers, they go 4 or 5 innings nowadays, whereas you can't rely on even the 1, 2, 3 guys going 7 like they used to. So you're bringing in a lot of that you don't know about. The bullpens, you could track bullpen stats and all that, but you don't know who's coming in, how long they're going to be in. So he makes a good point about the first half betting, because you have some stability there, what you're going to get, and you get your top of the lineup, at least 2 times, maybe 3 times. So you're getting good data with those first 5 innings, and there's a lot of uncertainty going in. So, but yeah, pitchers and catchers report what? A couple weeks, right?
Yeah, I
think
roughly,
the
Cubbies report first. I think like February 9th or 12th or something like that, and then everybody kind of shuffles in afterwards.
Yeah, because they're playing over abroad, right?
Yeah. Speaking of pitchers and catchers, we have a Super Bowl matchup. I don't know. I just kind of throw that out there, see if anybody catches that kind of reference there. There is none. It's just me being silly. What do you guys think of the games on Sunday? We don't have to go really in depth over the games, and we have all week next week again to talk about the Eagles and Chiefs. But Matt, your first thoughts on the weekend games, and what about going forward there with Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I think Buffalo they couldn't do it again. People are saying, Josh Allen can't get it done. Well, he played, I thought, pretty damn well. It comes down to coaching. McDermott got outcoached by Reed for the 4th time in the playoffs, plain and simple. They had the chances. The play calling at the end was a little suspect. Yeah, you could blame the refs. There's some 50-50 calls that went the Chiefs' way with that 4th down, which was kind of funny. Did you notice they never brought the chains out for that play? It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
They didn't measure. Why wouldn't they even measure? They just went to the booth and nothing was said. And they didn't talk about Chris Jones being offsides as well. So, but whatever, it is what it is. Mahomes and Reed, they're champions. They're the best in the business right now. And I bet against them. I had the Bills, unfortunately, and McDermott going for 2 early on. Yeah, I thought it was 2. I thought it was too early. Then he went for 2 again, missed it again. So, not that really, decided the outcome. Things changed throughout the game, but he just got out coached. And as far as the Eagles, man, the Eagles look good, man. First play from scrimmage, Barkley goes how many yards for the opening touchdown at? Washington went on an 8-minute drive and came away with 3, and then Philly responds 1 play later, take the lead, and never looked back. So as long as they're healthy, I think they're the one team that could take Kansas City down. And I think people are going through Chiefs fatigue right now. And I think some people want to see history, the 3-peat. I know they're just let it go away, So it'd be a fun game, no doubt.
We saw 38-35 the last time they played, Scott. And then you have a Eagle team, as Matt mentioned, offensively a 56-piece. And yet the total here at 49.5, I think people will be running to take the over, thinking it's going to be a replay. But what are your thoughts about last week and the Super Bowl when he first looks
55 to 1. 55 to 1. August, September, the entire season, radio and TV interviews. People asked who's going to the Super Bowl. I said KC has the inside track for a 3-peat. And I'm picking a team, not the Niners. They were the odds-on favorite, not the Lions, who made it to the championship game a year ago. I went with the team that wasn't even projected to win their division back in July, August. By closing line value opening weekend, they were a small favorite to win their division, your Philadelphia Eagles. Chiefs had a tough 5-game stretch to start the season, but as Feist knows, Fezzik knows, I've showed the ticket. I'm an eyelash away from posting the ticket. 55 to 1 exacta, the Chiefs to beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Are you kidding me? Can you say hedge? HEDGE. So I'm going to post it, I think, on social media and say, what do you do now? So it's a good problem to have, but I'm in a good mood.
How could he not be? 55 to 1, you got the matchup set, and the team you got there, so it's the Chiefs to beat the Eagles, and the Chiefs are they're a 2-point fave, but you're definitely in the driver's seat with the ticket. You got the 2 teams in it, and you got the team that's favored, so you really can't go wrong. Yeah.
Well, they're a minus on the money line, and I'm getting plus 55 to 1. But back to Matt's original point, Matt speaks, I listen. Same way with you, Sean. I respect what you guys have to say. But I have to say, when these 2 teams played in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, Andy Reid, no one is better with X's and O's, in-game transition and adjustments. They were down 24-14 at halftime, but per his genius mindset, stoic personality, huge fan, They scored on every single second half possession to steal that Super Bowl. The Super Bowl before that, they were down 6 minutes to go against Shanahan and the Niners. They scored the last 21 points of the game to steal that Super Bowl. Andy Reid is the best of the best. I keep repeating it. People forget they had won 2 games before Andy Reid came to town.
He's done a great job. I think he gets a bad rap, but in Philly, he lost the Super Bowl and he got lost to Carolina and then the Tampa in games he was favored over. But Tampa was a good team that year. I mean, Carolina was like one of those teams that gets red hot coming into the playoffs and just rolls over everybody. But Andy Reid, it's how many, like the talk was, remember, I think, what was it, when Mahomes won his first one? You're in Vegas, right? I think South Point or Westgate or one of these things said, is he going to win like 5 or 10 Super Bowls, right? Wasn't there some kind of bet? Would he win multiple Super Bowls out there? Like, how good is this guy? And the fact, what does Andy Reid have left? Like, don't be an age guy, but he's in the 70s, right? He's up there. What's going to happen when he heads out of town? Are they going to take a step back? Like, how does that work? Because he's not going to be there another 10 years. I don't think so. I mean, if he is, wow, we're going to see some historic probably stuff here. But do you think he lasts another 5 years out there?
Don't know, don't care. It's a 3-hour contract. That's all I care about.
Yes, I love it. I should. Why even bother with that one? It's good. You're worse than me when it comes to just like bet it and forget it stuff. You're like, no, I don't care about that. It's today.
I just want to see the cashier. That's it.
Oh, that's a nice one. Definitely post that because I'll retweet it. And the trolls will come, right? They'll be like, "This is fake. You're posting fake tickets. This is not a real thing." I love that stuff.
That's okay. That's all right.
The people come like, "Yeah,
Jimmy cracked corn, and I don't care."
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens when Reid does leave. It's going to be like the Belichick Brady split, where Brady will have their success and Belichick kind of went downhill. Whereas if Reid retires, what's Mahomes going to do with a new coach?
Yeah.
Is Mahomes really this good, or is he coached this good? I think it's a little bit of both, but I think eventually we'll see which is more prevalent at this point. And honestly, I think as good as Mahomes is, I think Reid brings in enough wrinkles to just
make it that much better.
Yeah, and just mix up these defenses, and they don't know what's coming sometimes, and taking nothing against Mahomes, Brady, he's absolutely great.
I love Brady, I love Belichick, but I think Brady got too much respect when he split, because the fact is, when he went to Tampa Bay, they didn't even win their division. I know they got the last laugh, they won the Super Bowl, but they didn't even win their division. So Belichick is the man. Those two guys are Hall of Famers. They need each other. Same way with Mahomes and Reid. There's a reason why the Chiefs have won 17 straight one-possession games. They stole the Al Davis Raiders motto, just win, baby.
Yeah, that's all they care about. That's all they care about, right? Everybody talks about, well, they don't cover. Don't make a difference when we're hosting Super Bowl champions. We don't care about that.
Right.
We got the trophies.
Right. And Scott brought up the point where, Reid makes these halftime adjustments where other coaches either can't or don't or whatever. But winning 70 straight one-possession games is, it's team involved, but it's coaching, hands down.
And last final point on Reid. Think about the offensive coordinators he had there. Nagy, Bieniemy, all these guys like, oh, look at this. The offense is great. Let me go take over its squad. What happens? No Mahomes. The team goes down, right? It's that. Obviously, you have Pat Mahomes as opposed to somebody else's quarterback, but Andy Reid's his tentacles and fingers are all over. No matter who that OC is, he's still in charge of everything over there. Good for him. I mean, he's great. This seems like a nice guy. I know people. You start winning and you get the big target on your back. Everybody hates you, but man, we're really seeing. You gotta hate somebody. Nobody likes dynasties, right? They hated the Bulls. They hated the Yankees. They hated the Patriots. Well, it's Kansas City's time to be in the spotlight. But all right, let's move on to some college hoops here. I figured we'd just talk a little football because God bless it, we could talk like 5 minutes on these games. Let's be honest, we're gonna roll out some winners and be on our way here on a Tuesday afternoon. We're going to start with Scott here. The Big East, Louis Carnesecca going at it here. I was an old school St. John's guy. I didn't get to see Chris Mullen play. That was a little before my time. I was too young. But Lou Harvey, heck yeah. Malik Sealy, you know it. Zendon Hamilton, where are you at? St. John's, 140.5 over Ed Cooley and the Georgetown Hoyas here. St. John's playing some pretty good ball here. I'm biased for St. John's. Georgetown, to me, as good as Cooley is or could be as a coach here, I think he's still got to kind of get his right guys in set there in the second year here. But I like leaning towards Johnny's here. But this is your game, Scott. What do you got for us? Red Storm and the Hoyas.
Well, first of all, you took me back, man, to the 80s with Chris Mullen and Malik Sealy and St. John's, man, always fun. The mid-'80s with, the Redmen, always a fun team and always a great rivalry with St. John's and Georgetown. No love lost between these two powerhouse Big East teams. There's a reason why St. John's is ranked 15th. There's a reason why they've won 17 of 20. They are red hot right now. They've won 13 of their last 14 games. 1 point separating them from going 14-0. They lost to Creighton by a single digit. History has a way of repeating itself. Success leaves clues. These two teams played Madison Square Garden earlier, and the game went under the posted total, 63-58, the final. St. John's won, but it was very interesting, this matchup, because I love Georgetown's defense, which is a bit counterintuitive. They're a great defensive team, yet they don't rebound for anything. St. John's down 15 points in that game, came back to ultimately win by 5. The thing I like about St. John's, they're scrappy, they're well coached. They're 11th in the nation when it comes to offensive rebounds. And I bring that up, boys and girls and members of the jury, because that plays right into the weakness of the Hoyas of Georgetown. They are 213th defensive rebounding in the country. The last time these two teams played, Georgetown had trouble with the full court press, and I'll tell you why. They had 19 turnovers in that game, and that led to easy transition breaks, and that catapulted them, St. John's, to overcome that 15-point deficit to ultimately win by 5. The starting 5 for Georgetown, very solid, but the fact is they have no bench. So I'm sure St. John's will rinse and repeat and apply the full court press again, knowing that it's 5 against 10, and let Father Time run its course. As the late, great Vince Lombardi said, fatigue makes cowards of us all. Georgetown 13-7, but the fact is, in spite of the fact they have a great defense, they are in a free fall. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games. Now, in defense of that first matchup, they did have some success defensively playing zone against St. John's. St. John's had some trouble trying to score from the outside. My play, one time, it's not how many you bet, it's how many you win. Over Red Rover, over the 140.5 points will be cheaper than your prom date's perfume.
Oh man, I can't remember. Actually, I do remember who my prom date was. She was nice. I still see her on Instagram a little bit. Still friends.
Well, I still remember her, but I'm pretty sure she's trying to forget me.
Well, I wasn't that bad a guy. Sorry.
I'd like to say I wasn't, but young and dumb, all youth lack judgment. But I had a good time. I had fun.
Oh, we could go young and dumb, but we know that. You know what? We weren't putting our crap out there on TikTok and IG, folks, recording our nonsense. No. All that hooliganism. No, it's just in your minds. That didn't happen.
The more she drank, the more fun I had. I remember Reuniti on Ice, Boone's Farm, cheap wine. Oh, the memories. It's taken me back.
Boone's Farm, yes. We were big into back in so I was like 90, I graduated 92. So we'd go out and I'd put on a little button-down shirt and khakis. I'd walk into the liquor store. I was this big with hair and go in and buy a party. I was a business. I'm buying a party bowl and a bottle of SoCo or whatever. It was fabulous. Everybody had a tap in their trunks. It was good living, 17 back in the 90s. It was great. Reuniti on Ice. Oh, my goodness. That's great. I forgot about Reuniti. I think I'll bring up Zima. That farm was
Strawberry
amazing.
Hill. Strawberry Hill. Yeah, cheap wine. TJ Swans. Yeah, hey, didn't have any money, but I still had a great time. I had fun. I don't know about her, but I always had fun.
I'm still stuck on a reuniting. Matt Fargo. Forget about St. John's Georgetown. Is it reuniti or Zima for you back in '93?
It was a Matt's beer ball, and not because my name is Matt. We kicked that thing. We kicked it around all night. Man, those were good memories, huh? Whatever I have of them. And luckily, like you said, I have some recollection, but there's no evidence of anything out there because of no TikTok, no Instagram. There's nothing out there. So whatever happened.
These dummies want to document their wackiness. No. Document. You know what the documenting's for? You go to gamblersworld.net and see the records. That's what we document. That's what you want to document, not your ridiculous nonsense. You got a thought on this one, St. John's and Georgetown?
Yeah, I agree with Scott a little bit here. If you want to go the contrarian route, Georgetown's 2-8 to the under in their last 10. St. John's 4-6 to the under in the last 10. And he brought up a good point about the pressing aspect of it, where the turnover rates on defense. St. John's is number 20. If they're going to press, they're going to get some easy transition baskets probably. And Georgetown is actually even better. They're number 19 in turnover rate on defense. So they can press and get some easy transition buckets as well. So St. John's has been scoring. They put up 79, 80, 82, 70, 97 in 6 of their last 8 games. So they're putting up some offense. The Georgetown's defense has been pretty suspect during this losing streak where they've gone 1-5 over the last 6. So yeah, I think we're getting some value here, especially with the first meeting going way under the total, where they scored 121 points at 144. And we're getting some value starting at 140.5, 141. So yeah, I like the over this one.
All right, Scott. Official show pick here from Scott Prichard, over 140.5. Matt Fargo agrees. I'm more thinking the Giants will get it done, but if they're going to get it done, they got to score points. So I'll be on that as well. So basically, it's a triple play there on the over. Official though, 140.5. Scott Prichard. Again, 14-9 with our free picks here. But you want the best plays, you head over to gamblersworld.net for our premium action. This one's a little more marquee. That was a good marquee game back in 1985, right? But in today's basketball, Tennessee rolling along, Kentucky, still a big name school here. 10.5. Tennessee, this was an 8 last night, and now it's up to 10.5. 147.5 is the total. You think last night I saw this, I'm like, 8.5. They're begging you to take Kentucky. I got to take Tennessee. I woke up this morning, it was 10.5. I'm like, boy, I like seeing the board well, but I hate missing out on the number moving points a half in where I want to go. What do you think about this one? Kentucky and Tennessee.
Yeah, I like the Wildcats in the spot. The line move we talked about a pre-show was a little surprising to me, considering 63 to 65% of the money's on the Wildcats, but the line's gone up. I think people are expecting a Tennessee rebound. They're coming off a really tough game against Auburn, and they've gone 3-3 their last 6 games. Obviously playing some good teams. They rebounded with wins in over their last 2 losses. So they have been able to bounce back. The matchup is a tough one against the pretty elite Kentucky offense, though. And the one thing for Tennessee, they're 5-3 in quad 1 games. 3 of those coming against teams ranked in the top 20. They've gone just 1-2 in those games, with 1 win being over Illinois earlier in the season. And this is the first time they've actually hosted a top 20 ranked opponent in the net rating. So it'd be a tough task coming off that really hard-fought game against Auburn Saturday night. And as far as Kentucky goes, they've lost 2 straight, both by 5 points against Alabama and the one against Vanderbilt on Saturday, where they witnessed that court storm for the Commodores, which has to put a little, bad taste in their mouth. So they want to rebound from that, and they want to, stop the losing streak. And this is sort of a rivalry. I think it's a good matchup for them as far as their offense can, penetrate this defense. And they played a tough schedule. They played a top 10 schedule this year, and in quad 1 games are 6-5. So they've got the job done against tough opponents, and two of the wins have come against top 5 teams. So they know how to win these big games. I think they might be live here. I would definitely, favor the side of the point spread, not the money line. But with the line going up, it's a little concerning, I guess, because it's a reverse line movement, which in that case I normally would like to favor Tennessee, but in this case I think it's just too many points in a marquee matchup that I think should be a close game. So we'll grab the points with the Wildcats.
Kentucky plus the 10.5. Matt Fargo official show pick. Big doggies. Scott Prichard. You like the big dogs here?
Dogs are barking. Ruff, ruff. Points mean more than opinions. When in doubt, take the points. I'm not in doubt. And I love the points. Plus 10.5. See the cashier.
I thought you were going to say, when in doubt, whip it out. Remember that as a kid? That's fun. That's kind of like when you think about, it'd be like, I just drew a blank. I was going to say it's something chicken butt. You ever hear that one? It was like, wow, what the hell does it say? Now I'm totally confused. Now I'm totally lost.
I think I know what you're talking about. It'll come to me, I think.
What's up, chicken butt or something like that? I don't even know. Some ridiculous comeback you said when you were like 11 years old. I don't know. If you remember the comments, I remember when I don't do show. I'll mention it tomorrow. Matt will say something. I'll be like, yeah, chicken butt. Kentucky in the big points here for Matt Fargo. Scott agrees. Scott agrees with it. To me, I don't agree. I'm like, I see that, and I think they're just trying to lure you into the big dog there. I'd have to look at the Tennessee side. Again, didn't have it. I last time when I saw 8.5, I'm like, oh boy, you got to take Tennessee, and now it's double digits. Ugh. And Vandy, talk about storming the court. They did it against this same Tennessee squad. They did it against Kentucky, right? I mean, it's nice little home wins there. Vandy's a nice little place to play. They got a little home court advantage going on there. A team with no real advantage of late. The South Carolina Gamecocks, my game tonight against the Georgia Bulldogs, winless in conference. 10-10 on the season, 10-10 ATS, catching 7.5 from Georgia, total of 132. Georgia's lost 4 straight of their own as well. I mean, South Carolina's been bad. Georgia has not been good. They pulled off a couple upset wins in mid-January and proceeded to drop every game since this. I don't want to lay 7.5, right? I got teams that aren't playing well. I guess if I would look at it as the same as Tennessee, like teams lost 4 in a row. I'm laying 7.5. Why not take the home team here? But I'm going to look at the total. And Matt was mentioning contrarian looks before. How about we're going to total contrarian here because I'm going to go over the 131.5 here. Georgia is 2-7-1 to the under the last 10. South Carolina 2-8 to the under their last 10. They haven't scored 70 in a game in SEC play. They got the 69 versus Florida. They can't even get to 70. 131. I think that Georgia's going to get into the 70s, and we're going to get 60-something here. So the 131 looks a little light to me. I'm thinking this game's going to be like a 74 67 kind of game. So we'll get over this 130. I mean, it looks a little too enticing to go under. And I look at their trendy under runs that combined at a 4-15 under run. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say over 131.5. Matt Fargo, Gamecocks, Bulldogs, total. What do you got?
Guess what, chicken butt?
Guess what, chicken? There you got it.
I'm with you with the contrarian side of this. You're looking at the totals for both teams over the recent stretch, and this is way lower than what we've seen. Granted, both teams have played to the under majority of their games. Carolina 7-13 to the 13-7 to the under. Georgia 13-6-1 to the under. But the numbers have been 40s, 50s, and this was at 131. So the contrarian side of it, I'm with you. Both teams are desperate. Both teams aren't playing great defense right now, and it just seems like too much of an adjustment in my opinion. So it might be, like you said, it might be a little too obvious, but I think it's the way to go in this game.
All right, Matt agrees with the official over 131.5. Scott Prichard, you coming in on the boat with us or no?
Yeah, respectfully, I do not have an opinion, but I will say, based on your analysis, that 131 certainly seems a little bit low. It's been bet up to 131 and a half, 132. So I tend to play the over. But again, it is a no play for me. But again, I'll be pulling for you, my friend.
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, folks, sometimes we like a game, sometimes you don't. That's the beauty of betting. You don't have to bet every game on the board, whether it's 5 NBA or 165 games on a college basketball Saturday. We're going to give you our thoughts. We don't want to steer you into something you don't want to get into. Official show picks. Over 131 and a half, South Carolina, Georgia. Over 140 and a half, St. John's, Georgetown. Kentucky plus 10 and a half versus Tennessee. Again, these are free picks. 14-9, not a bad college basketball run. It doesn't seem like a lot of games because we've been doing basically football for the last 3 months. We'll be turning over to college hoops a couple days a week, NBA the other days, so the numbers will improve. GamblersWorld.net, again, premium action. Head on over there. You see how everybody's doing. It's all – we got the leaderboards. Simple stuff. Premium packages are posted. Scott, Matt, myself, $69.99 day passes. Weekly pass, 3, 7, 30 days, all available for you. One last free pick for you guys. We're going to go Bartles and James or Seagram's Golden Wine Coolers. Remember the old Bartles and James guys? But then we had Bruce Willis. Remember Bruce Willis was singing back in 87? Seagram's Golden Wine Cooler. It's wet and it's dry. Like, that guy went from moonlighting, then he did Blind Date, and then he's singing songs. I remember him on MTV singing. The 1987, Bruce Willis is singing solos. Eddie Murphy, My Girl Likes to Party All the Time. Don Johnson, I Got Heartbeat. I mean, you can't tell me 2025 is better than 1986, 87. This is not happening. Not happening. Bartles and James or Seagram's? Where's your wine cooler, fellas?
Seagram's in a landslide. But you talked 1987, I'm thinking Cherry Bomb by John Cougar Mellencamp. Bob Seger. You mentioned Bob Seger, the greatest biker song in the history of the world. Roll Me Away. I'm afraid to get a Harley, but every time I listen to Roll Me Away, it makes me want to go out and buy a Harley. You mentioned Bob. Hey, you've got some good taste in some music there, my friend. You mix that up with some Seagrams. Life is good.
Seagram and Seagrams. There you go. What do you got? Matt? Who are you drinking?
I'm a hard pass on both. I don't think I've ever. I shouldn't say this. I probably have. I can't remember ever having a wine cooler. Zima, on the other hand, I remember those pretty well. I definitely remember those. Is that a wine cooler? I don't even know. Is that like a Mullick? I don't remember.
I have no idea what it was.
I don't know.
Matt, if you've never had a wine cooler, it just simply means you're having an amazing life.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure a couple have crossed my lips across the day, but I mean, hey, back in 1987, I was only 17, so I wasn't allowed to drink.
You were 87 and 7. You were 17 and 87.
Yep, I wasn't allowed. It was illegal. I couldn't do it.
I need your clothes. It doesn't look like you got many grays there in your.
I don't. No.
You're that much. I don't know that much older. I was 13 in 87, by the way.
I was legal in 87. I just proactively chose not to drink wine coolers.
There's your wine cooler wrap. And our guess what chicken butts and everything else we got going on today. A fun show with Scott and Matt, as always. Over Georgetown 140.5. South Carolina over 131.5. Kentucky plus the Big 10.5. Tomorrow more college hoops. Like buttons on the way out. Gentlemen, good to see you. Always nice laughing, having a good time. Take it easy.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.